We got a great interview
Yes, we do.
today. Who do we have with us today?
It has been so ironic that we've had track and field people this week.
Uh huh.
We had Gail Devers yesterday, the
Mm-hmm.
legend, and now we keep stepping up higher and higher.
Uh huh.
This young lady, I've known her for about maybe 10 years,
Uh huh.
and I was there through her journey, her earlier journey at San Diego State University, where she matriculated and has a degree.
Did you say matriculated?
Yes,
Oh, that was good. Say
it
that
has a
one more
degree,
time.
matriculated. I know some
Matriculated.
big words too.
Yeah. All right.
And I love her. She's more like family than a friend.
Uh huh.
She has been American champion, the
Uh-huh.
USA's champion in the discus, Olympian,
Mm-hmm.
none other than the one and only Whitney Ashley. Welcome to the Wake Up Morning
Hi.
Show.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, Whitney, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Did you
Nice
get?
to meet you.
Yeah. Did you get your selfie done yet?
Oh, you saw me?
Oh yeah. Like I said,
She's fabulous now.
She really is.
She's one of those. She's an athlete, but she's a athlete who gets herself together.
I'm gonna zoom in on it so they can see it up. Can I ask you a question? Now,
Yeah.
what type of toothpaste you use? Colgate or Crest?
Colgate.
See, I like that, because I'm gonna call Colgate up right now and say, let me show you this smile because she needs an endorsement because that smile will change. Well, look at that smile, y'all.
Yes, and she should because
Thank you.
she's an elite athlete, and we've told her for a long time that she should go into the modeling as well.
Look at her. She strike a pose. Go on, strike the pose. I saw it.
Right.
Well, we're excited about having you here.
Yes.
We've been very fortunate to have over the last 2 days great interviews with track superstars.
Yes.
And today we decided to come and be with you and find out what's going on in your life. I really love the decor of your space that you're in right now.
Yes.
It's like this really dope. But I got some questions to ask you. And can we get
Okay.
personal right quick?
Absolutely.
Oh, I like that. Did you see her how she said absolutely? Let me zoom in on her right
I'm
there.
telling you, she's a personality in herself.
Oh, okay, well, listen. So I just want to know, could you tell me what the tattoo right here on your, is that a full sleeve or what?
It's a half sleeve.
Uh-huh.
I've been working on it for a few years now. I have my Olympic rings inside.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a panther here. I have a hummingbird, a storm. I have Nefertiti here, and my grandmother was a nurse, so I have a caduce down here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. I have a lock because I'm my brother's keeper. I'm the oldest of
Right.
3 siblings,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and then my Olympic Games logo. This is the Rio de Janeiro sign, and then this
Okay.
is my new addition here. These are glyphs, and it stands for transform, transition, and transcend.
All right. Well,
See, so there's a meaning.
yeah, that's
There's a
what I want.
meaning to her
Uh-huh.
tats.
I just want to kind of see if I can get, involved and maybe she can get my logo in there.
That God where? Where you gonna put that?
Well, it's a part of her journey. If she got the Olympics, why can't she got the God? It just look like it just say God.
Right, but it's okay.
You know?
Praise God.
Okay, praise the Lord.
Let's start. How did you get started in track and field?
Woo! My mother used to take us to a local track at UC Riverside. They have like a community track, and we were walking laps one night. She believed in her children being fit and active, so we saw these kids running in uniform lines, and she was just like, "What is this? And how do I get my kids involved?" One, she didn't have to ride our workouts anymore. I think that she was more excited about that, and someone else kind of taking over her active time. And so we we joined a local track club at the time. It was called Team World. So I ran for them, oh my goodness, elementary school through middle school. I was a little on the chubby side. So after like our first couple workouts, they sent me over to the shot put. And that's kind of where my story began. I threw the shot put from 10 years old all the way through college. Junior Olympics, I was winning state, and I just excelled right away. It kind of it was very natural to me.
Well, that means it was God's given, because those accolades you don't get just. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna do it. No, that's a God given talent.
Yeah. I threw the shot put in high school. You know
Did
what I'm
you?
saying? Yeah, I threw it one good time, but I threw it like a baseball, and
About
messed
blew
up
your arm out.
messed up my shoulder, and I said, why would anybody throw this thing? Because I just messed up my arm. I walked around the rest of the day like this, you know. And I said, don't
Looked
touch
like
me.
you was deformed.
Yeah, I'm like that.
Right.
So tell me this.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is what I want to know. Okay, with the beautiful smile, the beautiful this beauty all over, um, the shot put. How did you make that glamorous? Because
And
I know
she's discus.
I know that you did this. Say, oh, I'm just gonna get out there. Because most shot putters don't look nothing like you.
Are a bigger framed woman, to put that into perspective. Something that made me always special was my speed and levers. So I'm about 5'8", but my wingspan is about 6'4".
Yes.
Okay.
And speed has been, I feel, my deadly weapon ever since I started, and I've done enough to, I don't know, it just, again, it comes really natural to me. I have a long arm and a really fast strike, so it always took off for me. I don't know, I never had to get really, really big. Thankfully, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm fairly strong for my size. So I have about a 245 bench, 440 squat, a decent snatch, 210 clean, power clean from the ground. So I have solid numbers to back up that speed too in this small little body.
Right.
I pack a lot of power.
You did shot and discus, but you excelled, or you decided to focus on discus.
So fun fact, shot put is what paid for college.
Yep.
And then when I got there, I was introduced to the discus when I got to San Diego State. So that's why I was redshirted my first year. I didn't know anything about the event. And my first year after learning, I became an All-American. My second year of learning how to spin, I won NCAAs.
Right.
I became a national champion in San Diego State since 1984.
Yes, and
Yeah.
like she said, she was the first athlete to win a national title from San Diego State since 1984-85.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the
That's
door.
huge.
Hold the door. What year did you go to San Diego State?
2012.
Yes, that was her championship year.
Okay, 2012. I was like saying, did she just say 1984?
Nope.
That was the last time they had an individual champion.
An individual champion.
Okay, because I was like,
and it's hard to win championships at the Division I level.
Yeah. I was kind of trying to control my. I'm like said, okay, now I'm 56 years old, and I was around San Diego State in the 80s. You know,
Okay.
And so I'm like, say, wait a minute, I would have remembered you if you was there. So okay, I feel better.
And she is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but I want to ask a
with
question
the
about
school
San
as
Diego
well.
State.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about your experience at San Diego State. This is real talk. Being that it would seem like there would be a lot of African Americans there, but you really did not see the impact of the African Americans as much. How was your experience at San Diego State?
I enjoyed my experience at San Diego State. I always felt welcomed. Obviously, when you're an athlete, you live a different life. I talk about that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Other people on campus, black or white, know an athlete when they see one. We're usually in our team gear.
Mm-hmm.
So we are treated a bit differently. So my experience might be different than another African-American student who's just going to school and not playing a sport.
Mm-hmm.
Professors are very friendly. They just want to be a part of your journey. They want to, if you do well, they want to say, oh yeah, I had an Olympian in my class last year. Her name was so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of comes with the territory. And with that, again, it was a great experience. I had a good time there. Did
you pledge?
I did not. I always wanted to, but at the time, so when I first got there, we had a new transition with coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Sheila Burrell's first year.
Yes.
And she advised us to be all in and that we did not pledge through those first 2 years that she was building her program for everyone to kind of stay focused. And so I abided by that rule and I did not pledge.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I got one last question. San Diego State was known on the San Diego State thing. Okay, we got company. Don't act up.
All right.
Don't you act up. All right, we back. All right. So let me ask you this question. San Diego State, was known at some point as a party school. What was your best party that you went to at San Diego State?
Oh my God.
Oh my, we're here, aren't we?
Yeah.
My best party? Okay, I was a clubber in college. And when I was in college, there was a club called Below, and it was an 18-year up and a 21 side. So it was like a dual club. We just couldn't cross over to drink.
Yeah.
Okay. I used to go to all their theme parties in downtown. It was the only black club that we had at the time when I was in college. And let's just say I was a frequent flyer.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, all right.
And see, I never knew they had one.
Yes, we was at church just praising the Lord.
Yes. Well,
I found my way there. There. I went to Coach Jean's church in San Diego.
New creation. Yes. She was new creation.
Yes.
Faithful.
I got baptized there.
Yes, she was very, very faithful, and her family background is church. Her mom, Miss Washington, is a prayer warrior.
Yes, she is.
Yes, and and she's a coach as well. Because you came from a very prestigious high school for track and field. They produced Olympians, world-class runners as well.
Joanna Hayes went to my high school. Nicole Denby went to my high school. You name it. UCLA, we were a feeder school for them essentially.
Yeah.
All over the nation, we kind of ran the world out of North High School. So it's a proud alumni for sure.
Yes.
So what brought you to San Diego State? I mean, if all the schools you could have chosen, what brought you to San Diego?
I'm a mommy's girl. I didn't want to be too far from her.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it was a straight shot to Riverside at about an hour and 30 minutes to get there. And the scenery is amazing. San Diego is one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Yes.
In my opinion, or at least in the United States.
Right.
When I went on my recruiting trip, I fell in love there. And so I said, well, this makes sense to me. Once I went to that school, nothing else mattered. I was like, I'm coming here. It's just a good feel. My best friend at the time was going there. He had a football scholarship. So it just made sense. I said, I already knew people there. I didn't have to have that shy girl moment. I got introduced because my best friend was one of the star athletes. And so it was awesome.
So what part of the country are you in now?
I'm in Kansas, Lawrence, Kansas. I train at the University of Kansas. I know that was a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, she transitioned from San Diego, where she trained at the U.S. Olympic Training Center for a number of years.
6 years. Yeah, I moved here 2018. So from 2012 to 2018, I was in San Diego at the Chula Vista Training Center. And then I decided to start something new and get a new coach and for Tokyo. And I moved to Lawrence, Kansas. 23-hour drive.
So let's talk about your journey. Let's talk about when you won the NCAA, because that's a building moment for you.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Being at the NCAAs, because you lit a fire to that team. I believe you won the first event that day.
Thank
for
you.
them.
Woo. I always had very low self-esteem as an athlete. I never felt like I belonged.
Mm-hmm.
I was, as he noticed, I was very small in college compared to shot putters and discus throwers.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember telling Coach Earl before NCs, I just want to get top 3. My goal was 180 feet that day.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I don't care. I just want to get top 3. Not only did I get top 3, I won and PR'd by like 26 feet or something ridiculous. I threw almost 200 feet that day.
Wow.
Out of body experience.
Wow.
And after that, I thought, wow, I can't believe I won. Great career. And that was when Dorian at the time, who was my college coach, advised that, he said, listen, you have your whole life to work. He always said that. You have a whole life to work. You have a very small window of opportunity to be an athlete. I think you should pursue the Olympic Games. And I went to my first Olympic trials in 2012 right after college, and it was a crap show. I didn't know what I was doing, and a deer in the headlights, and everyone around me still said, you got it out the way. You got your first one out the way. Mm-hmm. You're going to make that Rio team. Not only did I make that Rio team, I won U.S. trials. And so winning the NCAA title was a pivotal moment for my career. Of course, a confidence booster in itself, and amazing. To this day, it's still one of my most prideful moments, I feel, in my career.
And if you were watching it on NBC, you should have saw her response. It was crazy. When you won, your response was everything. And that's what sticks out in my mind the most. Now, let's transition from being the collegiate to the world-class elite. What is the difference between those two?
Support, to begin. You go from being able to walk into a training room. You go from getting free clothes and everything's paid for and logistics are done to I have to find an agent. I have to fund my career if I'm not sponsored. I have to pay now for Cairo. Everything costs. that was the biggest transition. And when I was coming out of college, they didn't have tons of support for college athletes.
Right.
They have tons of programs now, but I was footing that bill. So the training center made a lot of sense for me those first few years before I was able to sign with Nike. Oh my goodness, I saved thousands of dollars. I don't know if I could have done it if I didn't live at the training center. There's no way my family could have footed that bill, doing an apartment, paying for my car, paying for training, getting me to meets, all that was covered. I only had to pay for gas in my vehicle to get from point A to point B, but that was pretty much it. Free flights, and I'm very, very grateful for the time there. I did not mind sleeping in that twin bed because I saw the bigger picture. I was pursuing a dream, and it was a short stint, I guess you'd say, a sacrifice, a small sacrifice.
Wow. So how do you get to stay at the training center? I mean,
So
is there like a stipulation?
So every 2 years they do a reevaluation, and you have to maintain a rank within the world. Just kind of depends on what they're looking for. Just kind of remain competitive. I would say always have the standard as a good look. Making teams will keep you at the training center. You miss a couple teams, they may ask you to remove yourself from on-site and be an off-site resident. To maintain on-site resident, you have to remain very competitive and highly ranked in the world.
Wow.
So
I think I was top 10 in the world for like 5 years in a row.
okay.
And you were top 5 in the U.S.
Top 5, well, top 2.
Top 2.
So the past couple of years I've struggled, but I've always either won USA's or was runner-up.
Right.
Gia Lewis Smallwood used to give it to me for years.
Right.
She would snag me right in the last round, but it was a nice competition between us for years. Yeah.
How awesome.
Well, I wanted to ask, do I send my sizes in to you for my Nike endorsement? I'm trying to get a Nike endorsement so I can say, just do it again. That's gonna be the new thing. Just do it again.
If you only knew the behind the scenes stuff to Nike.
Well, first of all,
I was dropped. They dropped me in 2017.
Yes.
I've been self-funded for 2.5 years now.
we don't like Nike.
And they
anymore.
dropped Allison Felix. They dropped
we don't like them no more.
Montano. A lot of people don't because of how they treat their athletes.
I'm gonna get a new shoe called Just Us. We're gonna get it on Just Us.
Right.
Since you don't want us,
Right.
Just Us.
Right. They did the same thing
I love it.
Meb. To Meb Keflezighi, one of the most decorated marathoners and distance runners in American history, San Diego High alumni.
Wow.
They dropped him for some of the younger, lighter skinned brothers.
Praise the Lord. Okay, back to you. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk about the business of track and field. Can you tell us about your business experience and what you're involved in to the business? And are you still competing? Tell us what's going on.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mentioned I was self-funded. And so that comes with a lot of writing letters, building rapport within the local community, you name it. I've had to, shake hands and kiss babies to get free chiropractic work. And it's a hustle. It's a grind. Currently, as you know, I didn't make the Tokyo team. I did, but I did not. I was removed from the team. So just to be clear about that, I made that team. I rightfully qualified for Tokyo, but there was a rule change involved.
When was this rule change started? Because this is new to all of us.
Right. It was new. We didn't even know until about an hour after the meet. I got a phone call saying that you're not going to be selected for Tokyo.
But she has the standards.
I celebrated with my coach. I thought I was going.
Yes.
And they said, sorry, we're actually going to take someone without the standard. But who has a higher world ranking than you. So she was in the top 32. And I understand that, but I always thought no matter what, a standard would trump a world ranking mark. That has always been the case.
Always.
They always took the first 3 with the standard.
Yes.
That's the history of our sport. And I don't know why that was changed and why it wasn't released to athletes. A lot of athletes were laying around just going, wait, what's going on? I wasn't the only one who was snubbed. I'd say about 10 of us. The high jumper, Anika McPherson.
Yes.
They ended up taking someone in 14th place, and she took second at trials and had the Olympic standard. The girl in 14th did not have the Olympic standard, but again, she had a higher world ranking.
Because it's politics in USA Track and Field, I'm going to say it because I'm a member and everything. How are we dealing with this? Can there be a mass cry? I mean, what? Because I'm confused. I always watched it, and it always says the standard. Even watching this year, they were saying the standard, the standard, the standard. It doesn't seem right to me. It seems fishy.
Very. And it's really interesting because during the meet, the announcer kept saying that I was going to Tokyo. The announcer didn't even know. And you know, if anyone, they're going to have critical information up in that box.
Yes.
And he kept saying, your Olympians are going to be Valerie Allman, Rachel Dinkoff, and Whitney Ashley. They all have the standard. So if your announcer didn't get that buzz, there's a problem there. And when it came down to them trying to explain it to me, it was just kind of like, get over it. That's what essentially I was told, was to get over it. You're not going.
Okay, I done got mad, y'all.
I got mad too.
See, I didn't see. I'm having this right now. So you mean to tell me, how did she get a better world ranking? How do they rank better in the world?
Well, it comes with distance and the kind of meets you do. Every meet has a point system,
Mm-hmm.
so some hold more weight than others. U.S. trials held a lot of weight. That was a lot of points. And I opened up really late. She had a lot more meets under her belt than I did.
Right.
Because I had the Olympic standard, I didn't think I needed to compete as much.
Right.
Had I known that rule change, I would have opened up much sooner, and the dynamic of my season would have changed.
Correct.
We definitely would have done things differently if I knew I was chasing points.
Right.
That was critical in how we could have adjusted our season this year.
Right.
So let me ask you this question. How does the information get out to the independents that are self-funded about rule changes? Or is it just left up to you to osmosisly get the rule changes? How is the rule changes even announced so that you know?
So each year they release like an athlete manual, which they did not update the rule change in there. Allegedly, they put a small print on the website itself, not inside the manual. So when you read the manual, it was not updated this year.
Okay. And so have you just decided that it is what it is and there's no legal action or
we did have lawyers involved, and once they were explaining everything to us, there was really nothing we could have done because there was a rule change. It just wasn't announced, but it wasn't on grounds to sue. But we did get that far. We had lawyers ready to go. Absolutely.
Wow.
We had NAACP involved as well.
Especially with 10 athletes. That's a
absolutely.
large number of elite athletes, and many of them have been Olympians and stuff. Because they would have.
This is life changing.
Right.
We're talking money here lost. That's the biggest thing. Potential sponsors. You know, when you make that team, this is the most money a track athlete will make is during the Olympic year for most of us.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that comes. A lot of companies want to rally behind the Olympic Games,
Mm-hmm.
and so when you make that team, there's a lot of opportunities to be made. So you know that costs us. There's a nice little stipend that comes with making the team itself.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of incentives. So
and the
it's not just about glory, but it's like continuing to be able to fund this journey.
Right.
Is imperative.
And the circuit too that you guys go on, because you know after Olympics there's all the meets all over the world.
Yes.
Money.
So I'm gonna ask another question. Other 9 that were snubbed, were they all African American?
Most of them, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm the communications director for the NAACP. San Diego
Are you
branch.
really?
Yes, he is.
I am.
My name should be in one of those meetings. We had NAACP in the Missouri and California on the line for me through the whole process.
Oh, this should be at the national level, because this is a travesty to have someone give so much of their life and their time and then qualify based on the standards. And if you don't update the manual and you put it on the website, if there's not a thing that says in the manual, you must check the website for any updates, then there's a problem.
There's a problem. That's unprofessional too.
But not just that, I feel like because it was such a critical rule change, hey athletes, here's a special blast. Look at our updated team selecting process. We should have known this last summer. This isn't something you announced the year of the Olympics. We should have known this at the end of the pandemic. Hey, look, as of next year, this is the new way we're going to be selecting our team. That's fair. You waited until May, June, July?
Yeah.
At Olympic trials?
Right, and they had time to do it. We had a whole year.
Yeah. We had a whole year.
Yeah, and that's really sad. So on behalf of us real Americans and Aztec alumni, Berkeley alumni, I'm going to say that we kind of heated. You know, and you done started something. I'm struggling with this one.
And I'm close to her, So it affected me when I found out. I was so
Yeah.
pissed. I said I was going to stop being a part of USA Track and Field. I was just livid because I know her journey. I was there at San Diego State when she was discouraged from coaching changes and stuff, but she fought
Yeah.
through it. She uprooted everything to go to Kansas. She's a California girl. She put her life on hold to continue her dreams and stuff, and it shouldn't have been taken away because that's taken away.
And that's the thing that I'm struggling with. She went to godforsaken Kansas
Yes.
and left God's given
Snowstorm-
state,
snowstorms and
all that
everything.
thing, to get there, did the work
Yes.
and everything. That's like doing a whole degree and then they didn't tell you, oh, by the way, we changed the standard the day before graduation.
Yes.
Come on now. All right, let me get back to you. So with this, I got to get on a lighter note because I'm getting ready to go to the dark side. But let me get on a lighter note.
Yes.
So tell us more about your life. Married, single, puppy, dog. What's going on?
I'm single. I've been single a long time, actually. I don't know. I just don't talk to anyone. I don't have a life. I just train.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it. Lots of sleep. Recovery is a huge part of my journey. Oh my goodness, I sleep about 10 hours a night, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to recover, I sleep about 10 hours a night. So lots of rest to recovery. I don't know anyone here in Kansas. I only have like one friend, which is my training partner, my coach, and his wife. That's pretty much it. So
Wow.
She needs a modeling. She needs a modeling contract.
Okay.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
See?
Okay, you're 5'8".
And she takes fabulous pictures. She's very glamorous. She loves clothes.
Well, first
she
of all,
loves makeup.
we got to ask a question. Would you like a modeling contract?
Absolutely.
Her not
I want to
home.
get into communication. So my background is in journalism. I want to do broadcasting
Yes.
and I want to write and I just want to be.
Oh,
I don't know.
I see our campaign. I see, you ready for the we're going to get the campaign.
I'm telling you,
you want to
she's
come back to
amazing.
San Diego?
How about Phoenix? As close as I think I can come.
Right.
Why?
I don't know. That's where I'm thinking about moving, maybe.
Okay, you know it's hot out there.
But the cost of living is
It's
cheap.
very hot.
But the cost
You know?
of living
Yeah.
is better.
But I'm trying to.
Yeah,
She want to be on TV. Who wants to be on a Phoenix station?
Yeah, but she can be. But she can travel to Los Angeles because it's not that far from there either.
But
She's from Riverside.
I know, but I'm trying to get her on air in San Diego.
Okay, but if that
Are
was
you really?
if that was the work
Yeah.
and she got the money
So
behind
so
it,
so if I
that'd be
get her a gig, if we get you a gig in San Diego, you good?
We can talk about it. It's definitely negotiable.
Okay.
I want her to I want her to train for one more year. The World Championships
Okay,
is
okay.
coming back to United States to Oregon.
Okay, and then we'll go ahead and get her a broadcasting job.
I believe in my heart, and she knows I love her to life. Her family's like my family. I know that she has one more big one in her.
Okay, so I got it.
So we're gonna pray, and I know how she is. She has to put everything together. She
I
pieces
got
everything
it. I
together.
got it. ESPN LA.
Really?
Oh, that'd be great.
What about that? ESPN LA.
That would be amazing.
Okay, there we go. We'll get one more in.
Right.
And so we'll start the campaign now.
Yes.
ESPN in what, 23?
Yeah, that'd be 20,
No,
22.
20,
22.
well, 22.
22? Okay.
Yes, the games are in the World Championships, and the World Championships are second best to the Olympics.
And so we're gonna build it up. It said the real Olympians gonna win at the World Championships. So we're gonna build the World Championships up over the Olympics. Cause I ain't watching the Olympics now, except for one race, couple races. But when it come down to that shot, putting everything else in there, I'm boycotting.
What?
I'm boycotting.
I thought about that too, but we still have to support her in the aspect of that event because that event wasn't premiering until recent years, and she was a part of that development. Her and Michelle Carter and a few of them, they glamorized throws.
You know what? Maybe we should, when it comes on, we should have her go on live and actually critique. Yes, now see what she's
No,
doing. Now,
commentate. It's not called critique.
I'm sorry, commentate.
She's a mass communication degree, so
Okay.
commentate.
Commentate. Yes, sir.
Commentate.
Okay. All right.
And are you doing any branding? Coming out anything of your own?
I thought about it going into the Olympic Games, but I haven't done anything since. I was going to do these custom shirts. I have the actual custom logo that I created, and I just never, I don't know. I didn't go through with it.
because
Well,
you have so many opportunities. Being an elite athlete in America, it's you can use it to your advantage because multiple people want you to be a throws coach. That's not out the question, I'm sure.
Coaching is out of the question for me. I do not have temperament for it. However, I want to be on the administrative side. So if you guys know anybody, for
Associate
me to
athletic
pursue kind of a
director.
career in athletic directing,
Yeah.
that would be ideal for me. Yes.
So here's the thing. I'm very excited about
Yes.
you as a personality, a
Yes,
young lady.
she has a
and,
personality.
and I love the fact that even though you suffered a very, very large disappointment in your life, you're still prepping for next steps. One of the things that we love to do here is be a part of people's next steps.
Yes.
And it's not about for our success. We enjoy seeing people be successful. And especially when things are done in a wrong way, there is a way to correct it. God always have a perfect plan. So whatever his perfect plan is for you, we want to make sure that we sow in and that you know that you have a station, you have a family that's always going to have your back. Because in these seasons, when this happens, a lot of people will try to forget. Oh, well, it just didn't happen.
Right.
But it's so important that we continue to support and to talk and visibility. And if you want on air, then I'll tell you right now, on air is coming your way. If you want certain things, it's coming your way because you have done too much good. You have sacrificed too much for God not to give you exactly the desires of your heart.
I agree.
And so I want you to be encouraged. I want you to know that we will do our best. If you want ESPN, I'm going to say ESPN. I'm going to talk to everybody I know, until you get that audition and everything. As long as you can read a teleprompter, because
I got you.
Because I know you sassy. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? I know you sassy, so
Yes.
they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, she's personality.
So I think that we got to start a new campaign for her.
And SDSU loves her. She's a Hall of Famer. She was inducted maybe 2 years ago. Yeah. at the
Yeah.
San Diego State
Well,
Hall of
3.
Fame. 3.
Time is flying. Yeah.
And that's prestigious to
Yeah.
be one of the elite to be inducted into their Hall of Fame. So and San Diego State has people from their school who are
Yep.
TV producers and movie producers and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and I just think that now we're putting it out there. People are going to be like, oh, let me give her a call. Let me ask a question because I want to know about Mama and your brothers and sisters. What are they doing and how is Mama?
My mom is amazing. She's a special education teacher. She's been one for over 25 years now, if I'm not mistaken. At my alma mater, John W. North High School in Riverside. She is also the throws coach at my high school.
Yep.
And she also runs an AVID program for African-American students called the Heritage Program. So what we did was make a Black AVID. And I'm saying we because I like to think that I'm a little involved
Right.
with her behind the scenes. But what it does is put our children at the forefront in terms of their A through G requirements and tutoring and just getting the attention that they need that they, as you know, lack in a lot of these schools. They throw a lot of our Black kids to the wayside.
Yeah.
True.
So it's just beautiful to see a program built around and for Black children.
Yes.
So I fully support this program in the Riverside Unified School District. I have 2 brothers, Stacy and Marcus. And we're very close in age. So I'm 32, Stacy is 31, and Marcus will be 30 next year. Stacy is an aircraft mechanic for Boeing, and Marcus drives forklifts for a warehouse right now, I believe. And they're my babies. I'm very close to my siblings. Yeah.
So do you get to fly free?
No. Unfortunately, I don't. He just fixes them, but they don't. Yeah. And then my father, my parents are divorced, but I do have a relationship with my dad.
Right.
He's retired now, and he's amazing. A huge part of my support system, and hi, Dad.
Okay.
Wonderful family.
So I'm excited about meeting you as much as you have done, as much as you have. This is my actually first time actually meeting you. Your former pastor, Pastor Gary, grew up. He was my youth pastor at my church. And so we go back because I always tease him about, coming over out of the military and stealing one of our prettiest ladies and taking her away. And so we used to always hate on Pastor Gary when he came in because we was teenagers then. It was like say, how he gonna just come in here? But he's such an amazing person. Him
Yes.
and Pastor Karen.
Yes.
And it was a great place for you to be.
We honored her, and they showed the clip of her actually throwing and winning, and Pastor comes out in the official USA polo gear. Remember, you guys had the Olympic gear? Yeah. So.
Yeah, so we want to continue to support you. So offline, we want to make sure that we stay abreast of what you're doing,
please.
and also the journey. I want you to get they say your vision board up, and then send us a copy so that we'll know exactly where we have. One of the things about Robert Earl Dean, he's in so many different places, and you'll be amazed at some of the places that both he and I are in, and we'll be like, remember, oh, wait a minute. We need to plug this person here and plug that person
Oh,
there.
yeah, she know I'm not going to forget her ever.
So with that being said, any final words that you would like to share of encouragement to the people?
Yes. What you're willing to part with proves what you're willing to be a part of. It's one of my favorite quotes. And to blossom where you are planted.
Wow.
You don't have to know. One thing about me, what I've learned through my journey is God is always in control. It doesn't matter how, even if it's ugly. I think people like to think of God as a genie sometimes and like, praise God when something good happens.
Yes.
You don't hear his name as much when things are going bad, and you try to take over your life by yourself and it never goes anywhere. So what I say is live in the moment, enjoy where you are, blossom where you're planted, and know that everything is a season. Everything will come to an end. The bad times, the good times. Praise God no matter what season that you're in, and be thankful because tomorrow isn't promised. Life is so short.
Yes, it is.
Let go of the things that hurt you. It's not worth it. And forgiveness, remember, is always for us. It's never for the other person, which is nice, but forgiveness is for us. Living bitter is not the way to go. Smile and be grateful. I promise you, you have way more better days than you do bad days. So that's all I have. Nothing deep, but I try to live by those.
That was scuba gear.
That was.
geek.
That was.
I had to put my scuba gear on
That's
for
right.
that one.
And I'm sitting up here thinking because we're going to end up having a Whitney Ashley Discus Summit or something in San Diego. I'm going to work with USATF, the youth part of it. I know the president, Paul Greer.
Yeah, so we're gonna get you back
Yes.
here. Do we have to talk to managers and agents, or can we just talk to you?
No, straight to the source.
Okay, because when I got to talk
Do
to
you have an
managers-
agent?
I do.
Yes, yes.
But he solely does my track meets.
Right.
He does no PR work or
Right.
anything like that. That's kind of on us. Yeah.
Oh, now who's us? You said it's
On the athlete.
The app.
Oh, okay.
A lot of times, a lot of athletes have like publicists and they have something for every track and field athletes. No.
Right.
We have a meet director, or you have an agent to get you into meets, and you're kind of on your own in terms of landing other brand deals or reaching out.
Right.
Again, it's a hustle.
Yeah.
It's a hustle. Yeah.
It sounds like she need to add me to her team. We'll be the branding team.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this.
It's the truth. Well connected. I'm telling you, to a lot of things.
Yeah, we'll get you your own theme song and everything.
Well, we need to talk to Liz. We need to talk to Liz Black about having her
Yeah.
on the show or something too.
And we'll call your mama up and be like, "Come on, mama, but we're gonna get her nice and right."
Do you guys have an Instagram so I can
Yes.
shout you out today? Okay.
Yes, and we're going to send you a copy, an edited copy of this interview for you to use however you want to use it.
Deal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, check this out. This has just been a candid conversation with a wonderful young lady, Olympian,
Yes.
Whitney,
Ashley, yes.
Ashley. And I know that you guys are listening and saying, wow, they're conducting business. They're talking about this. We're talking about that. The one thing that I want you to get to know is simply this. When we do interviews, we interview based on life and things that are going forth. And when she just shared and she dropped a bomb on me, I think it's so very important that we continue to tell the stories of our African-American athletes,
agree.
our Christian athletes, but more than anything else is that in the moment we meet each other with love.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I had to go and deal with my anger real quick. I went into my little corner and I came out of it
Well,
and I
I
said,
saw your
okay.
expression change, and,
Yeah.
and I was upset for a long time as well because I'm a member of something that doesn't
Yeah.
do people right all the time.
Correct.
I'm telling you, people, start writing letters and everything else because USA Track and Field in United States is one of the worst track and field countries to represent. Our athletes
Correct.
sometimes have to have 9 to 5 jobs, and these could be some of the elite, unless you're the certain names in track and field. But it shouldn't be that way, because if you go to some other countries, you're like celebrities. They take care of
Right.
everything. In the U.S., one of the richest countries, who gets sponsors from Snickers, Powerade, and all those entities, our athletes, track and field, should be paid a monthly salary just because they're one of the top 25, top 30, top 50 in the world. But we don't do that. But all the top officers get paid great stipends and great money.
Right.
Not right.
60% of track and field athletes in the United States live under the poverty line. 60%.
60%, you guys, and all USA track and field buffs I see on here today, we need to do something about it. I had a friend, Tyrese Washington, who was a top 400 runner, and Von Ware. They were trying to get a union years ago, but the athletes didn't buy into it because they were nervous and stuff. And you've had the big names like the Sonia Richards-Ross. They've talked about it. She said, I'm stable. I have money, but my friends are still having to work and make a living. And she said, it's not fair.
So here's the thing about it, is that if we don't know better, we can't do
Right.
better. And so I think that as moving forth, we have to then put the energy out for the information that needs to be there.
Yeah.
Because especially for our African American athletes, so many times we will see them and we'll think that everything is good.
Yes, sir.
But we have to look at black-owned businesses being endorsers, sowing into those athletes and picking, like, you're like, if I'd have known this for her, I'd have been like, Rob, we got to get her. We're going to sponsor her, and we're going to do this. We're going to do that.
Right.
You put the full brand, and she'll be running, and have GOD on this side and Mandate on the other side,
Right.
and red at the top. You know,
Right.
those
Right.
are the kind of things that we have to begin to do, but we have to do it out of love. See, sometimes people only do it for profit.
Right.
But you have to love the actual sport. You have to love that. And so as we begin to talk about track and field as a professional sport,
Yes.
not just football and baseball
Right.
and things that
Thank
they
you.
see all the time,
Thank you.
that will then bring it to pass. So I think it's so important that we started. I want to say to you that Robert did for the CIF, let them run in 21. And when I tell you that young man did TV, radio, whoever called, and he said, I'm going to tell you, they're going to make it happen. They're going to make it. He was so adamant that, yes, the kids got to run in 2021. And so, when Robert bites onto something, especially when it comes to track and field, it's going to be bought. He went from being retired to going back in.
Yeah.
Because he said, I ain't finished with it yet. So young lady, I want you to know, sisterin', that it ain't over. You know what I'm saying? The best is yet to come.
Yes, it is.
And we are excited about what you are going to do in every aspect. And I want to be there when you do your first broadcast on ESPN.
Oh my goodness. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay.
Yes.
Robert, any final words?
Thank you. I love you. I'm always here for you, and you know I support you to the moon, because I've always believed in you, and you're always the same with me. Just a wonderful person, and she's an Aztec for life.
Yes. Now I'm looking for the right one. I think this is the one. I got to go back to Carolyn Traylor on this one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to play as a send-off. There is a story behind my praise.
Yes. That's a
Right
good
here
one.
on GOD Radio 1.
.com.